So welcome back to DC's Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman 137, published May 1960, with story by Jerry Siegel and art by Curt Swan. Chapter 3, Superman vs. Super-Menace. You have met Super Brat, mischievous little super scamp who, unlike Clark's super baby Kent, has been deliberately taught to love lawlessness by his wicked foster parents, the Derricks. You have also met Super Bully, who was Super Brat grown into a dastardly trouble-loving teenager. Now meet the most evil of all, for Super Brat has grown from Super Bully into an adult Super-Menace. In this final chapter, the Outlaw of Steel clashes in an unforgettable battle with the Man of Steel. Gasp! You're a force manifestation, and kryptonite doesn't harm you. Ha ha! Very true, but my vacuum breath can keep snatching down kryptonite meteors from outer space until they kill you. So, Super-Menace really hates Superman, and he goes to the Superman Museum and just starts smashing statues. Only someone with super strength could have done this. Someone with the strength of Superman. Say, you don't think Superman went wacky and did this himself, do you? I don't think that's the way you spell wacky. So Superman is no, I'm sorry. Super-Menace blows this rocket off course, but then Superman takes care of it. Super-Menace still has not revealed himself to the world. So Superman re-guides the missile, says, "Get along, little rocket. I'm a-heading for the last blast off." Tum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. He did it. He's flown the rocket back on course towards Mars. Super-Menace's, I guess, adopted father. I don't think they ever legally adopted him. He calls a meeting of these criminals. "Derek, our time is very valuable, and you will be very, very sorry, host, if this isn't as important as you've made us believe. Would you call the death of Superman unimportant?" So they are impressed, and in comes Super-Menace without his mask. "It's Superman! We're betrayed! Run!" "Don't be scared, pals. This is my kid, Super-Menace. Super-Menace, meet some buddies of mine. Show 'em your muscles, son." So he starts bending this steel rod and says that he's going to take care of Superman. And they're going to make him the leader of this crime syndicate. "Son, you've always wanted to knock the stuffings out of Superman for years, right?" "Right, Pa. Well, I've got good news for you. Go get him, boy. Kill Superman. Hooray, my big ambition is finally going to come true. Thanks, pal." So as Super-Menace is leaving, Pa Derek says, "Chuckle, Bonnie and I figured that if we pretended to love that freak and raised him to hate the law, when he grew up, he'd make me the crime king of Earth." Now, I don't know how you raise this guy for literally decades and don't realize he's got super hearing and supervision. Sob, "They never loved me, a freak. That's all I've ever been to them." So he's so close to victory, and he has to say something stupid. But he still hates Superman, so he starts just creating a tremendous earthquake. This will bring him running. So Superman, even from outer space, sees what's going on and flies down. "You look exactly like me, except that you're masked. Stop it, you'll destroy Earth. I'm Super-Menace, and I challenge you to stop me, Superman." So they face off, and neither can really harm the other. "How do you like being crowned with a mountain? A shame you can't put that strength to constructive use." And they knock down the Leaning Tower of Pisa. "Your body isn't human. There are no bones or arteries or blood. You're an unearthly force manifestation into human form." Gasp, you're right. So I guess this is the first time he ever figured that out, and he uses his super recall to remember when this ship hit Kal-El's spaceship as he was flying to Earth and created a duplicate. "That accounts for your looking exactly like me and having the same powers. The only difference is that you aren't human." Well, that's kind of rude. "And neither are you, Kal-El, actually. You're a Kryptonian. Not human. I hate your human body. I hate all the things you are that I could never be. I've got to destroy you." So they are continuing to fight, but Super-Menace starts to use his super breath to pull down meteors by sucking them in. But he is unaffected by it because he's a force manifestation. "You're dying, Superman, and me, I'm going to wait right here and watch until you gasp your last breath." I always thought I'd enjoy seeing Superman die, but there's no pleasure in it. For me, maybe Wolf and Bonnie Derek didn't extinguish the last spark of decency in me. So he relives the what Pod Derek or Wolf Derek had just said about calling him a freak, and decides to start using his super breath to push the meteors into the ground. Meanwhile, the rather old-looking Wolf Derek, I did it, Bonnie. I put it over. The crime lords have agreed to make me their king after Super-Menace kills Superman. Ha, we'll be the king and queen of crime. What do you mean, queen? Who needs you now, you old crow? Get out. There are thousands of young beauties who would love to be the new bride of the king of crime. You rat. I like that. He's just like, get lost. After all these years, get lost. Correction, you're both rats. I know everything, Wolf. I know how you twisted my mind into ways of crime. I know you secretly loathed me while pretending fatherly love. Well, that ain't true. I've always loved you, son. He's lying. He hates you. He told me so 1,000 times. Don't lay a finger on me, you freak, 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 freak. My life could have been a blessing, but with your rotten cunning twisted it into something terrible. They really are kind of stupid. And he starts to glow. I'll abandon this human form and return to pure force and take you two with me. Son, don't destroy us. Ah! His strength regains. Superman has followed an unearthly double and arrives in time to see Super-Menace's last moments of existence. He's vanished. There's a pathetic quality about it, and so vanishes the most dangerous menace to law and order the world has ever known. I liked a lot of this story. There were some things I didn't like. I don't know why Wolf and Bonnie would wait until they're elderly to try and take over the crime syndicate. I think they could have done it way earlier, but I think it's a good story. And it really, really was helped by Curt Swan, who's at the top of his game here. And a really, really good artist can take a decent story and make it feel like something much better. But I do think it was a very good story, particularly for one of the three-parters.